What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Mega Man 5. This time we're gonna end off the game. That was weird wording, but anyway. So last time we did 3 stages by accident, so there's 3 stages left, and that's what we'll do today, so it'll be a little bit longer. Especially with the refights we have to do, but the last couple levels in Mega Man typically aren't that long to make up for all the boss fights. Wait, that's actually a tricky jump. And here we have Wily Castle randomly being flooded again, because they're like, oh yeah, we forgot to add water. But even then, Rush Marine did not come back, because how useless he was in the last game. And there's only 1 or 2 times he was useful in 3. And that's the thing, it's like, water is only in very specific levels, whereas Rush Jet can be used in pretty much any level. But I do love the scuba diver Mets. I'm glad they're back. And I overall like the high gravity physics, because they're just really... You just feel unlimited in your vertical movement. It just controls so fluently. That's a compliment I have for all the NES Mega Mans. Anyway, what do we need for this boss? The gyro attack. Oh, the next boss is a interesting one. So let's make sure we have this charged up. And immediately use it, because that's fun. No. Actually, hold on. I'm using water underwater! It's waterception and I can't kill him with it. There we go. And now we're jumping in and out of the water. And it does change the physics, or maybe it's just normal jumping, I'm not sure. But there you go. You can make it spam that sound effect, which is kind of funny. Oh, and now we have the ones with the babies again. And I do wish there were more weapons that pierced in this game. Besides the Mega Buster, that's one thing that makes the Mega Buster so good. Because Gyro Attack can't do that, Crystal Light can't do that. There probably is one that can, I'm just dumb. I'm not the most skilled on the Mega Man weapons, obviously. I'm not the most skilled at anything, but... Got these rats again, or mice, whatever you want to call them. We'll see what their name is in the good old bonus episode, where I look at the art and stuff of the game. Will be right after this. Obviously, you would know that if you watched the others. I mean, if you're just tuning in for Mega Man 5 only, that's fine. I do hope you watch the other ones, though, even though some of them are old, and those early ones especially. If you think I'm bad at the game now, like this, if you think I'm bad now, watch the old ones. Because, like, I really struggled at Gutsman stage back then, and doing, like, I can do it pretty easily now, it's not that bad, so... Like, in my replay, I didn't have much trouble with it at all. Anyway, how do I kill this guy? Water Wave's not doing much. See, the obvious answer would be to ladder camp and use this, but I need this. But I'm gonna do it anyway. Oh, thanks for the reward. Have we gone a single episode without getting an extra life, besides, like, maybe the first one? I'm not sure. Let's hope that does not continue in Mega Man 6. Anyway. I'm just gonna try to go around you. That's close enough. I don't want to use an M-Tank, so we're just gonna switch to Mega Buster. Anyway, this guy's called Surthring Q9, something like that. So this fight's actually tricky if you're impatient like me. You gotta wait for the gates on the side to open up, why they do that anyway. But, yeah, and then you hit him. The octopus-looking guy in the middle. Let's use an E-Tank. You know, this would be a good boss to use Beat on, but I don't know if he'd do much damage and I want to save him, so... There's really only one other point in the game where beat is super effective on something, so... Ow. I was thinking about whether or not to use my M tank. I'm still not going to, but then I remembered about the weird L tank that Proto Man gives you that's like never seen again. Like, I don't even know what they're, like, I still don't know what the letters on them are even supposed to mean. But especially the L tank. I guess life tank. But it seems to do the same thing as an E tank, so I don't know. Why couldn't it have just been an E tank that it uses automatically? Why am I overthinking this? It's just a cutscene. Anyway, yeah, they don't like you to stay on one side. You gotta move over. Move it on over. And then, before you even get a chance. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this guy is just kind of annoying. His movement is a little unpredictable, to me at least. And I just gotta take my time and keep rewinding. Ow. We did it, I guess. Up next will be the refights. Let me get some water. Rest my throat. And I think that's why the distance between the last two are so short, because it's supposed to mimic the actual path of the levels and kind of where Mega Man's gone. Well, actually, no, it doesn't make any sense. Never mind. Because it's so short. I thought the shortest was between this and the finale, which would make more sense, but no. Anyway. Another E-tank for us. We're kind of generous with those two, but not as much so as the lives. I think they're more generous to us than 4, I believe it was, where we had like 4 or 5 of them, right? Or maybe that was one of my revisits. Anyway, now we go through all the bosses. They are in... Actually, I don't know. It's always weird what order they put them in, but I do have a guide here for what weapon to use, so we go back to Gravity Man stage. And it should be a little bit easier with the Star Crasher, whatever it's called. You just stand near him when you switch, and yeah, that's it. Makes them a lot easier than with the Buster. I almost feel like I wouldn't start with Gravity Man, but I just listened to the guide. Because, I mean, I know a lot of players come up with their own order or whatever. And maybe someday I will, but... Because I definitely think there's easier bosses to do Buster only. Some of the games there's a reason to start with a specific guy, but sometimes it just comes down to who do people consider to be the easiest with the Buster. And if that's the case, I would not consider it to be Gravity Man, but next we are using the Charge Kick. Well, I kind of forgot I was going to use the M-Tank here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that now. We won't have as much to heal this time, but that helps. So we are going to kick the water guy, which still doesn't make any sense to me. Like, some boss weaknesses make sense. They form a sort of triangle like you would see in Pokemon almost. Like fire, water, grass, you know, that kind of thing. But some of them don't make any sense. Like, maybe there's some obtuse reason, and hopefully that's the right meaning of the word obtuse, but maybe there's some weird reason someone can find for that to make sense, but to me it doesn't make any sense. Now, what does make sense is the bomb against the guy made of stone. So there you go. And as last time, he shouldn't be that bad. It's just annoying that you can't damage him when he's in crumbly mode, as I like to call it. And when I say I like to call it that, I mean I came up with that about 5 seconds ago. Come on. Alright, there we go. Next, we're gonna use a Water Wave. And slide right through that, apparently. That was weird. wonder if any of these bosses will drop an extra life when I kill them. Anyway, that's the last time. He should not be that hard. Hardest part is attacking him when he's on the ground. Or, I guess, slightly above the ground. This actually goes through his weapon. I didn't realize that. Usually with bosses like that, that wouldn't work. And also, how do we have the zero gravity in here? And whatever. Science. There's that done. Next is the boss where you don't really get to fight him because you just press gravity hold over and over and avoid him a couple times. So here we go. There we go. Took a couple dumb hits, but like, as long as you have a semi-decent amount of health, you can't really lose that, so. We got Crystal Man. He's a little more difficult because you gotta aim that, and that attack's hard to avoid. But, you know, same as before, pretty much. I do wonder, I don't have any actual proof, but I wonder if they do make the bosses a little easier in the refight. I'm not really sure in what way, but I do feel like they do. Just doing them all in once, it would sound a lot harder than it really is. I don't know. 2 more here. We got Napalm Man. He wasn't that bad, right? This is another boss I could probably just tank. He can corner you, but other than that, he's not bad. And if you're in a square room like this, then if you miss the crystal light, it'll probably hit him anyway, so. Here we have the worst one of them all. We have to use the Power Stone. Again, he wouldn't be that hard if it wasn't for this stupid weapon. Or at least I'm not alone in hating this thing. A lot of people consider it to be trash, so. The most reliable way I could find to hit him is to be right next to him. Which is not good. Okay, I mean, the whole thing is that it kind of covers the whole screen. But it moves in such a weird way that it just misses everything. Or you don't have any real control over where it's gonna hit stuff. And also, since you're mostly taking contact damage, and that tends to do more damage from bosses, he does a lot of damage. And I'm not doing a lot of damage back. I didn't want to use this, but here we go. Just get it over with, man. Again, on my playthrough, I didn't find this too hard, but last time in this playthrough, in his normal fight, he was quite annoying, and he's quite annoying again. I mean, there's no change. There we go. And finally, that's done. And we move straight on to the Wily Press. I kind of forgot there was nothing in between. So now we have to use the Star Crash. And this fight's actually pretty easy. He just... yeah, it's just one of those cases where he follows you, and then as soon as he pauses and tries to crush you, you just make sure you're on the other side. You do have insta-death spikes, but yeah. And then you, it's a little hard to hit him. But other than that, pretty easy fight. This one also doesn't have 2 phases, not in the traditional way. Okay, how am I not hitting him? Also, I didn't press the attack button there. What was that about? Oh, it's because the thing's hitting him. Okay. Hold on, what is the hitbox for this? No, you have to be perfect, pretty much. I would use B, except I think he's needed for the final boss. Which, spoilers, there's another form after this. Kind of, so... Dude, I'm missing everything. I don't remember that being a problem. Oh, and that time he just landed in the middle. I didn't even know he could land in the middle. I think I need to stop sending it out early. For one thing. Come on. Yeah, I mean, in theory it shouldn't be hard, but it's kind of hard to hit him. I might be better off with the Mega Buster. Like, I didn't have trouble with it before. Let's try the Buster. Okay, yeah, even though the Star Crash does more damage, this boss fight's so easy that the only challenge is hitting him, and it's way easier to hit him with the Buster. So I think I would prefer that over what the guide says. Because yeah, that technically does more damage, but it's a little harder to hit for me. Here I'm hitting him every time, see? And once you get into that rhythm, he's very easy. There's no bullets or anything to worry about. It's just me, him, and the two spikes in the middle. And there you go. Except he's escaping, because of course he is. Yeah, so that wasn't the real Wily fight, that was the Wily press. Now we go on to the final level that'll have the Wily machine. And this will be the only boss in the game that's weak to the super arrow. You actually want you to use that thing, so... that thing's probably gonna do more damage to me than the actual boss, I don't know. Anyway, we're almost done here. Then the pain and suffering and excess 1-ups will be all over with. You're the last chance if you're gonna give me one. You're the last regular enemy in the game. Okay, well now you're the last regular enemy in the game. Okay, now you're the last regular enemy in the game. Okay, well, you can live. E-Tanks. We got one, I'm gonna save it. Because this first phase is actually quite easy. Wily Machine 5. Main difficulty of this fight is that he makes things very crowded for you. Like that. And these move quite fast too, but you only gotta hit them a few times. Or like right here, the window to live is really small, but this fight can be ended very quickly, so it's not that bad. But now here comes the Wily Capsule 2, which, yeah, they started making this a regular thing, so... this is another pretty good final boss. I mean, it's very sinister. But, the weakness is Beat, which I do not have selected. There we go. So, Beat... I mean, usually the difficulty comes from, you know, finding out where he's gonna appear. But Beat does it for you. So... oh, you can use the Buster as well. You can't charge it though, so there's not much of a reason to, in this case. Okay, this shouldn't be that hard to avoid. Yeah, just don't worry about getting near him, just survive the energy walls. And you should be able to beat this with a full thing of beat energy. Beat ammo, I guess. How does that even work? I guess he just gets tired, poor guy. Also, where was Eddie during all of this? He didn't appear in any of the last 8 levels, bro. I think Eddie appears quite a bit more in 6. So yeah, how about it? We're almost done with the 5th game. Can't celebrate yet, though. I just kind of zoned out there. I was thinking about other things. Yeah, Beat knows where he is before you do, and there we go. We get this kind of funny little jingle as we chase him here. And if you just grab Dr. Light, ignore the cage that he was behind, apparently. And, Mega Man will try to hold up the collapsing fortress. Wily gets away. Here comes Proto Man to save the day once again. So yeah, this game kind of provides the answer that yes, Proto Man is definitely a good guy. They make you think maybe he's a bad guy, but no. I mean, he's more of an anti-hero. He's got beef against Dr. Light, but he, helped save the day. Anyway, we got our credits, and I think the credits for this game are quite long for some reason, but that's Mega Man 5 done, besides the bonus content, as usual, so... It's another one down. A very solid game. That's really all I gotta say. It's a solid game. It's solid as Stone Man. So... And at this point I stopped kind of ranking the NES games, other than 3 through 6 are better than 1 and 2. But other than that, I don't really have a ranking, but 5 is a very good game. As for which game you should start with, I'm gonna say Mega Man 3 is where you should start, but it doesn't really matter. You could honestly start with this one, it's not bad, so... Got a really good group of Robot Masters here. Good credit song, too. Not much else to say. Just gotta let the credits roll. It is great that they always spotlight the Robot Masters. They're kind of the main faces of the game. Now we get some other names here. It doesn't say what they do, but, I mean, they worked on the game in some way. Yeah, this one was just kind of long for whatever reason. How will they even decide what order to put these in? Because they're not telling us the type of work that they did. Is it weird to say that the credits are kind of bad because, like, I don't know. Whatever, I just, I can't just cut off the video early, I gotta show the full ending, so... But also, if you've already left by now or want to leave, go ahead. Well, actually, no, here we go. Here's the, full credits now. Maybe it did say what those names were for, and I'm just dumb, but... Yeah. Another thing is that a lot of the crew members in these games have nicknames, so we don't really know... Or, I guess we probably do, but within the game we do not know who these people really were. And Beat's gonna show us that it was presented by Capcom, and we have completed Mega Man 5. And once again, it just kinda ends there. So we can save the game and call it official. And that's it. And that's Mega Man 5. Thanks for watching along. Next time we'll go through the database and the museum, and then get started to the finale of Mega Man Legacy Collection, which is Mega Man 6. See you guys then. Hyperdrive Shorty 2 signing out.